Hello, my viewers, you're most welcome. This is part 2 of ritual killings in Kenya. And last time we talked about how money is good, but love for money is where the problem comes from. And then we talked about how at the moment in Kenya, there are very many ritual killings. You found very many ladies who've been killed by people, and most of whom has been said that Nigerian men have been involved. Now, if you've been on social media, you've seen the lady who said that she used to do hookups for men, and she will arrange ladies for men in these suburbs. And she said on how the rituals used to be performed by West African men, specifically in Nigeria. And today I stumbled on a video on TikTok, and there was someone who was saying that if you're a Kenyan, you want to date low men because they know how to love, and they can break your heart, but they cannot kill you. They fear blood. And if you're a lady here, or if you're a Kenyan, or if you're mature enough, you should be knowing that. You should be knowing that. If you're civilized enough, you should be knowing that good people are everywhere and bad people are everywhere. Some people say that Africans are very much into diabolic, but trust me, when it comes to diabolic things, it is all over the world. The world is wicked. When we say the world is wicked, people are wicked, and not all people. I watched when you go to YouTube, you'll find someone by the name John Ramirez. If he's not an American, he comes from UK. I don't know. But if you watch this man, he's a white, but he said how he used to be a witch, a satanist, and he used to cast spells on people. We've seen people coming from all over across the world, some confessing that they used to be into diabolic things. So you will be very stupid to be out here, and now you keep off West African men, and now you are cheated that now Kenyan men are the ones who are not into rituals, or now said dating white men, because now you something is cheating you or lying to you that they are not into these things. Let me tell you, everywhere there are good people and there are bad people. I've seen Nigerian men who are good. I've seen Nigerian men who are evil. Same to Kenya. They're good Kenyan, they're bad Kenyan. Like in Kenya, people used to say that there's these tribes which are full of witchcraft, these ones are not. But if you ask many people from these tribes that are said to be just good, they will also tell you that into their villages they are witches. Just like churches, some people are cheated to believe that all churches are bad or all churches are good. Even if the pastor of the church or the bishop of the church or the archbishop of the church is truly born again, that does not guarantee that all the members are straight. You've seen where bishops are very straight, and members, some of them are into diabolic things, or they're just into adultery, they're wicked, and they are doing all these things. You can find a pastor of this church is wicked, and you find some members in that church are good members. So, if you're civilized enough, you should be knowing that these things, for you to know. For example, that there is this documentary that came out by BBC. The people are coming out with the testimonies, and you see some of these testimonies have been there on the limelight, but just because they came from people who are not popular, people used to ignore them. That's why in one of my videos I said, in this era and time, it will be very dangerous for you to live and believing that you are protecting yourself against evil, because we don't need to fear. Especially if you're a child of God, you don't need to fear. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6, the Bible says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Now, this is after Joshua had taken over from Moses. It was not easy, Moses guiding the Israelites from Egypt to Canaan. And now Joshua had been given the mandate, and it was not going to be an easy responsibility. And so God was telling him to be courageous, because he was going to cross through different people. People are diabolic, people are into other gods. It was not going to be easy. Just as us on earth, it's not easy, because you don't know in your workplace, you don't know in your neighborhood, or in the vehicle, on the road. You cannot take care of yourself fully. Most of us live by the mercies of God, because if God will open your eye to see how many things have been targeted against you, I'm telling you, you should be thanking God every time, because there are very many traps that God protects us from. But again, this does not mean that you just go living carelessly. No. Now, on my last video, I talked about being against some of the vices. And I'm not against the people who practice these things. I'm not against the people. I'm against the acts. You know, sometimes we say I'm against prostitution or I'm against the alcoholic people. But the truth is, you're against the act. You are against the act. And it's very hard to differentiate when someone is talking. So that's why in this era, if you are a parent and you have children, just pray for them, because most of the time 3/4 of their lives they're in school, they're on the road, they're everywhere, they're not even in your house. Even with your housemates, some of them we don't know. I've heard stories of housemates confessing on how they used to do diabolical actions or work on their bosses in the house. Some housemates have taken over their mistresses' homes through diabolic things. Some of them have turned their children. I had someone who told me that he was first introduced into these sexual acts through their house help. That's why I said it's not easy to take care of yourself. It is God who takes care of people, but it's always good to just take precautions. Yes, the Bible says that you'll pass through waters, it will not sweep you off. You will pass through fire, it will not burn you. You will take poison, it will not kill you. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your front, but nothing, no arrow will touch you. That is true. But there are times whereby God will tell you, do not eat here. Why? Because He knows that food is poison, and there's a time you are going to eat that poison, and it will not harm you. There are times you'll feel hunger, and God will give you grace to just pass through. There are times it will be very hard. God will provide. So as a child of God, you shall know how to rely on God, how to rely on the Spirit of God. Now, even if you're not born again, there are some things even in our traditions. There are some things people used to focus on and to make sure that they're done. For example, ladies or men keeping themselves pure until they get married. Children staying with their grandparents and being taught some virtues of the family or of the clan. And it's nowadays it is very hard because very many people are busy, and people go to work, they don't know what their children are doing. Some parents know that their girls are very innocent, but some of us who go out here to counsel students or children in school, some of them, they'll tell us that they've been into this. Some of them, they've done terrible things. The parents are not even aware. You see? So if your child is still surviving today as a parent, take time, talk to them. Some of these children have entered into these traps because they don't know. No one even showed them the way. I was in a certain school. We had gone there to do it was a Christian challenge, but we were doing some one-to-one counseling, just free one-to-one counseling. And some of the students were saying that they are left alone, and even their parents don't know what they go through. Some of them are having psychological trauma, which parents do not know. Some parents are very harsh on the children. Some family members don't care about each other. It is good to build a bond as a family whereby you know what is going on in other person's life. If they're financially down, try to lift them so that they don't get into these traps. It's just good to take care of each other. Love supersedes hate or just living carelessly. Otherwise, thank you very much. What I leave you with, no one can take care of themselves good. It's God who takes care of people, but just do your part and try to just pray God and you'll be